This is breaking news. Rikkafairy's control just topped in the OCG. What is up, all you beautiful people? It is I, AkemiTCG, back here with the brand new video. Shoutouts to my boy James for sending me a Rikkafairy deck list. He just said, oh, this deck list topped the OCG, and I had to scour the internet, and I scoured through a lot of foreign websites just trying to figure out where is this deck list? Where is this one deck list? Out of that little chart, the big ass chart that I think top 32 deck list, there was one Rikkafairy deck list. And now I'm gonna showcase it to you all, showcase to the world the power of the Rikkas. So we are here. Here is the website for the proof. I'm just gonna go through a quick analysis of the deck profile. Just as a heads up, for the last two side deck cards, we have no idea what they were. So maybe he wasn't even playing, or I don't even know if it's a she. But basically, the main website was the roadtotheking.com, the metagame report. There's a little pie chart here that shows all of the decks that topped in the OCG from the 4th of July to the 12th of July. And there was one Rikka on there. So I go down, and there's a whole bunch of links to the references. I had to click through each and every single one of those to finally find it on this site on Baidu. I am going to put the link down in the description just in case anybody wants to cross-check. Anybody calling me BSing that Rikkafairies aren't topping, but here it is. Here's the deck list. So let me just pop it into ygopro and let's just take a look at it. Boom! I already have it. Magic, guys, magic. Anyways, let me just break down the full deck list and my thoughts about it. Again, just want to make a disclaimer. There's a lot of cards in the OCG that they have that we don't have, and their balance is significantly different. Hence is why you see Lone Fire at 2. So they definitely did hit plants there as well. But we got the buff, which is 1-for-1 at 2. So let's go through the choices, and I'm just gonna try to dissect this deck basically from top to bottom. As a Rikkafairy player that pretty much plays this deck competitively, I want to try to understand every Rikkafairy build as much as I can. Also, heads up, quick spoiler, I do have a vlog coming up very soon, so stay tuned for that. Vlog number 4, I think. Anyways, let's get right into it. Snowdrop, the Rikkafairy is gonna be one of the level 8s. Usually in a lot of builds right now, they play either 2 or 3. I personally like to play 3 because I just play a lot of mini weenie plants or like smaller plant monsters. Obviously in this build, the only plant monsters are gonna be, well, these aren't weenies, so these don't count. Okay, so you play Sickleman, Primula, Lone Fire, and Rikka Petal. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 8 plants or mini plants in this deck that you can sack. I mean, you could choose to sack one of these as well. It just really depends on the situation. But one Snowdrop, in my opinion, that's a little bit too risky, especially since he's not playing anything that recurs the Snowdrops from the graveyard, let's say like Salvage. But they do have Strenae, so the deck could play differently otherwise. I have one Erika, the Rikkafairy. Again, I only play one. I do play one Hellbore too, just in case for the targeting, but I do find myself siding out that card a lot, so I may take it out completely. It just really depends on the situation, but as of right now, I can't really side it out yet, or like take it out completely yet for this meta. 3 Mudon, the Rikkafairy. This is obviously the best one. You can search for Glamour, Rikka Tranquility, Rikka Sheet. You can actually search for Glamour, and here's the little mini cool combo with it, okay? So Strenae says that you can detach one, target a plant monster or Rikka card in the graveyard. Doesn't have to be a Rikka monster, okay? Just Rikka card. So if you have Glamour in the graveyard, you can grab it back if you haven't used it yet, which is really good. You can, if this card is tributed with the material, so you can't just use both of its effects and pop off. You have to use only one. You can special summon a rank 5 or higher plant exceed monster from the extra deck or graveyard. Extra deck or graveyard. So if any of these hit the graveyard, you can pop off with it. Like Kanzashi's in the graveyard, you're like, okay, I'm just gonna pop up into Kanzashi. I would prefer to just have a toolbox of plants where you can play even Aurea, which is really good with Strenae. So my card theory behind this is the deck is going to change immensely like immensely once Rise of the Duelist comes out, and I'm so excited for this card. Yeah, stay tuned for Spice, guys. So that makes sense. The reason why he's playing 3 of each is, again, the Pot of Extravagances, which makes a lot of sense. And all of these links are one-offs because they're proprietary. You don't really need them, but he's just putting them there because he has space. Personally, for me, like super personally, I would have just played like 3 Alsay and then 3 of the Aurea, the bird, just so you always have something that's live and just scrap out the whole Synchro engine if I was playing this. But again, I'm not him, and we're gonna keep looking through this deck list to see if I can find any more kinks or any more spicy text to come out of this. So 1 Cyclamen. This card is finicky, but reducing levels of cards on the field is really good, especially since you want to go into Strenae more often. She's more of your queen than her with this build, because you want to go into Strenae to grab something. So with Mudon and Snowdrop, you can drop Cyclamen, drop Mudon to level 4, and then make Snowdrop and Mudon into a Strenae. You could have grabbed Glamour off the Mudon. Strenae is gonna grab something from the graveyard back to the hand, whatever you want. Use Glamour, tribute the Strenae, plus hard. You literally +2 from tributing Strenae, and then some ending on Teardrop and then something else. So it works. 2 Primula. I like this card. Either at 1 or 2, 3 is a little bit too bricky. If a monster you control is tributed, you special summon it. It's just free, super free. Tributed in any way. So it says a monster you control. You can even drop an Erika and you can still summon this. Because control means either on the hand or in the field, right? 2 Lone Fire. You have to play Lone Fire. It's just really good. And in Japan, they do have Max C, so you're playing the Hand Trap package, which is generally 2/2/2 or 3 of Ash Blossom and 3 of Max C. But he's playing 2 2 and 2, and the reason being is just so you don't want to open multiple Ashes, and if you run just 2s, you can't really open multiples of anything, which is really good. So I guess this worked out for him in a 30-man tournament. 3 Rikka Petal, obviously the best one. 2 1-for-1s because you want Petal all the time, like 24/7, and you can get rid of the Ash or Ghost Spell whenever you want. 1 Harpy's Feather Duster because they have it in Japan, like, or OCG, so why not, right? Like, if this card comes back to the US and that Gold Series list is confirmed true and Harpy's Feather comes back, that's going to be insane. You will have to main one of these in every single deck except for maybe possibly Exodia. It's one of those cards where it literally has a spot in almost every single deck besides maybe like an FTK deck or something. 3 Pot of Extravagance, good draw card. I considered running this. In my first iteration of the Rikka build, I ran Pot of Extravagance. Before Strenae was even announced, I ran Pot of Extravagance. And I did like it a lot, but I personally, it's a toss-up, okay? Because sometimes with Pot of Extravagance, even if you play 3 of the Teardrop, you could lose all 3 Teardrop, and that could cost you the game. That's just something to keep in mind. And once you do that, there's no way to recur it off of any of these. But on the same note, the chance of you hitting all 3 is very, very low if you're playing the math game. And also, you play a lot of traps too, so you're gonna most likely draw into maybe 1 or 2 traps, or maybe even Call by the Grave that you're gonna really need for your play. So it just really, it's up to you. 3 Rikka Glamour. Obviously, you play the 3 emergency calls in this deck, and again, this card has synergy with Strenae. You can sack the Strenae, and you can pop off with it. As in, you can tribute the Strenae after searching for Glamour off of Mudon. Add 2 cards from deck to hand, so 2 plant monsters. So you can add both Cyclamen and Primula and just keep going. And then, immediately after, you can summon Teardrop, Kanzashi, whatever you want. 2 call buys. They play a lot of hand traps there, so it also hits Max C, which is a good one. But this deck doesn't really combo. It's just kind of like you summon both of these at the same time, and then you go off into Teardrop or Strenae, whatever you prefer. Here's the new card that we don't have yet. The Draconian Prison of Snow and Sky. Target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to the field, but it negates its effects. Then you can banish 2 monsters of the same type as each other. You can only activate 1 per turn. Okay, why is this good, okay? So you target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, summon it to your side of the field, okay? You don't have to resolve the second effect, where you can banish 2 cards. So, it's a Monster Reborn. Well, what's the other card? It's a really old card. I don't remember the name of the card. Oh no, Autonomous Action Unit, where you can grab one of your opponent's monsters in the graveyard and summon it to your side of the field. And if it's let's say like it's like a Link 3 or something, you can climb immediately into an access code, which is great. Access code wins games, okay? Or, if your opponent plays monsters with the same type, you can target a monster your opponent's graveyard, summon it to your side of the field. Let's say they're playing Cyberse, okay? And they have an Abramax in the field, and that card is problematic against this deck for a variety of reasons. And they're playing Salamangreat. You flip this card, you target one of the Salamangreats that are critical to the combo to continue. And if they have Abramax on the field, you can choose to banish both of them. Both that Salamangreat monster, so let's say like that Spinny, I'll be honest, I don't play Salad, so I'm pretty sure it's a Cyberse, please correct me if I'm wrong. You can banish the Spinny and banish the Abramax. Abramax will proc, but you get rid of both a boss monster and one of the cards in the graveyard that's critical. So this card is going to be very, very good when we get it into TCG. I expect it to see play in control decks. This card's good. Rikka Sheet, Rikka Tranquility. Also, I think hypothetically is good in Eldritch too, but let's keep going. Rikka Tranquility, Rikka Sheet, 1/1. It's fine because Mudon, and also Strenae can recycle these cards, so that makes sense. 3 Solemn Strike, it's good. 3 Solemn Judgment. No questions about this whole package except for maybe Damper. This is kind of random. If you use a monster with the level that's owned by your opponent for the exceed summon this card, treat it as a level 6. So if you grab it off of Draconian, you can treat it as a level 6, and then you can just summon a Mudon or something. Or even if you grab it off a sheet, you can treat it as a level 6. And then you can detach one, target a card your opponent controls, just send it to the graveyard. And once returned, if a monster is sent from the field to your opponent's graveyard by a card effect, so with its own effect, right? Or even if you use Teardrop's effect, then you can detach one material from this card, special summon one of those monsters to your side of the field in defense. So it's not bad. It's really not. You can take one of your opponent's problematic monsters back if you don't want their monsters to have a graveyard effect. Or on their turn they have some sort of cool graveyard effect that you don't want them to get, you can grab it. So it's not a bad tech, I like it. The only problem is it's not a plant, so if you use either Snowdrop or Petals effect, then you're locked into that. And also, since you only play the one of, Pot of Extravagance, it could very well hit the Damper, and you could need it in the future. 3 Kanzashi, 3 Strenae. The Unicorn package, I think that's literally just because of Draconian. Jasmine's really good, and then 1 Gravity Controller for the problematic cards. You pop up with Exceeds frequently often here, and this gets rid of, you know, cards in the extra monster zone that you can't get rid of, like Abramax and BLS. This is just the way out, so I don't mind this being in there. As for the side deck, there is, again, 2 cards unknown in the sideboard. So we got Gamma Seal for the, I think the Red Eyes is still very oppressive there. 2 Pankratops, the card is good going second. Ghost Ogre, DD Crow, Lightning Storm. I don't know why they only play 1. I think he would play more if he had more. Rikka Flurries, just depending on the matchup, it could be more beneficial. It ties extremely well with the Glamour Strenae combo that I mentioned earlier if you have Flurries. Mystic Mind, I play that on my build, it's really good. Heavy Storm, Metaverse, and 2 Unending Nightmares, probably for the Pendulum matchup. I'm really not quite sure. Oh, maybe even the Orcus matchup too, it's also really good. Yeah, that is it. If you want to test it for yourself, feel free. I'm gonna do a couple of test hands just to see what I can pull off, just for giggles. Let's see what we get. This banner 6 cards. Let's see what we hit. Oh, we've drawn to another Extravagance. Whoop-de-doo. So we hit the Damper, like I mentioned earlier. We also hit the 1 copy of these. We didn't hit 3s of Kanzashi or Teardrop, so I guess we could play. So activate Glamour. Get that spicy Petal. I feel like this deck, because it's control, it wants to go first, but Extravagance, drawing to Extravagance is very unfortunate. It's gonna take me some time to get used to this deck, because I always play the combo build, so I'm so used to like Lone Fire into Evil Thorn, but let's see what I can make here. We're just gonna cut the Lone Fire to make it a little bit quicker. I guess you could... Oh, if you play this differently... Play Sickleman or Primula? Let's try this. Oh shoot, I picked the wrong card. So I was gonna pick Strenae and then set a card, and then next turn Tranquility, sack my Strenae. Well, with Strenae I grab my Glamour back, and afterwards I would go into Strenae. I just said that like twice. Use Tranquility, tribute the Strenae, and I believe immediately after that happens, if this card is an ignition effect, I mean it's a trigger effect, so once this card is tributed, I special summon Teardrop on the opponent's turn, and now I have a lot of monsters on my field, and then I can pop off. And I also have Maxi and Ash Blossom, so... Ooh, let's do this again. See what else. Okay, this hand's kind of brick, not gonna lie. Reset these two and pass? Okay. How did he play this deck? That's a brick. Okay, this is really good. Okay, this is really good. Man, I wish I always open 1-for-1, man. Anyways, deck definitely needs a lot of testing, but representation in OCG, finally guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see more stuff like this, please let me know. Please let me know down in the comments that, whoa, I love this content, man. And I'll keep doing it. It definitely motivates me to do more of these. Again, also, my apologies for posting a lot of Rikka stuff, but I absolutely love this deck, okay? This deck is like, it's so much fun. It's so much fun, and people are sleeping on it. One day, guys, y'all shall see the power of the plants. I'm AkemiTCG. I will see y'all in the next one. Alright, bye guys.
The world ends now.